Since this anime came out, I've only been getting requests to watch and review this series. Of course, being me, I just can't review anime when they come out, as evident by all those anime I've been reviewing recently. But anyways, One Punch Man, I think you know its quality and its standing in the anime fandom, but with my review, I hope to maybe put a twist on it from a different perspective, and that is the same perspective everyone has had before. It's another review! But before we begin, keep in mind this is just my opinion. Let's have a civilized discussion in the comment section below if you agree or disagree on something I said. The story of One Punch Man follows Saitama after trying to save a butt-chinned kid, massive butt chin may I add. He decides to train to become stronger, not just for adulation or for chicks, but just because he wants to. But his training regimen, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day made him so strong that not only did he lose his hair, but is now able to defeat anyone with one punch. Understandably so, he is bored, so he can easily machka his enemies without even breaking a sweat. Will Saitama find someone who can match him, or will he continue to defeat his enemies in one single punch? This is One Punch Man. One Punch Man's story is so ridiculous and over the top, you just can't not admire its charm. While there are many weaknesses within the story's writing and storytelling, like what comes with having your main character being able to defeat literally anything and anyone with one punch, the show still manages to offer a solid and compelling story most of the times. This is the show's weakest aspect though, as the viewers know that Saitama could end this all, and it's always in the back of your head that he could just come around and kill whatever big bad is focused on in the show. Why not just have him on call all the time? Why not just have him as the main and only hero? The pacing of this show is somewhat harmed by this, and it's not really an oversight, but a natural flaw of this character and story. But on top of that, you can't have Saitama just come out and destroy people willy-nilly. I like using that word, because that can get old really quick. This is also kind of where One Punch Man turns its weakness, I won't say into a strength, but uses it in an interesting way. They intentionally make Saitama lazy and bored. This gives the show an excuse to have the Heroes Association, which in turn lets the show be able to focus and showcase on some really awesome heroes and some concepts and ideas. Heroes like Genos, Moomin Rider, Metal Bat, and Tatsumaki, and more all get their moment in the spotlight to really show what they're made of. It's an interesting way to handle it because they could have easily went down a Goku route with this too, but instead, these heroes can hold their own. And they also don't job out to every villain that comes around just so Saitama can show up and bury them with a golden shovel. One Punch Man's story is just really fun. It's as simple as that. If you grew up on Dragon Ball Z and other battle shonen, this is going to have a similar story to those, and you'll find yourself right at home. Madhouse is the studio behind this anime, and with Yoshimichi Kameda behind the animation, being the animation director who has worked on anime like Mob Psycho 100 and Naruto to name a couple, you could expect some quality stuff here. The first episode, just as an example, is a powerhouse of animation coming out of nowhere and blowing away my expectations fairly easily. And that's the thing. Kameda and his work on One Punch Man redefined what Madhouse anime looked like to me. The fights at the beginning and ending and everything in between. It's just so beautiful and detailed. There isn't a studio quite like Madhouse right now when it comes to animated fights like this. I want to give a shout out to the dub here, as it's a pretty good dub and is directed by Chris Kaysen, who you may know as the voice of Shu and Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball Z, and he also voices in this show Crabrant and Sluggerus. And while I like the Japanese cast's performance and don't mind watching either, honestly, I much prefer the dub here as this is how I was introduced to the show and it's how I like to watch it. There are some weird choices like Genos having a very airy sounding voice, but other than that, I think the dub deserves a mention here as being quality and rather well produced. The music of One Punch Man is the kind of music I enjoy. Dramatic metal music is often used, and 90% of the time they'll rip off classic metal songs from the likes of Metallica or Iron Maiden. This is not a diss on the anime either, it fits the aesthetic of this anime to a T, and I enjoy it quite a bit. It's one of the few anime where the score adds to the experience in a very noticeable way. Watching the anime without a score would make the show kind of only half of what it is. It's just like eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without the bread. Sure, it's good, but it isn't what you really want, and it's an incomplete experience. In closing, One Punch Man is a unique experience no other anime can quite match. It's fun, it's ridiculous, it's cheesy, it's dramatic as hell sometimes too. One Punch Man is just honestly awesome, and that to me deserves some kind of acknowledgement. What other anime can create interesting characters like this series does, and yeah, sure, a lot. One Punch Man gets a full recommendation from me. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, ring the bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. Put down in the comments what you think about One Punch Man Season 1. I'm back. Also, if you haven't already, watch my One Punch Man Season 2 first impressions. That's going to be a fun video for many people. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you viewing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.